Part 1. Almost a decade felt like safety. My partner and I had been together for almost 9 years. Writing that number still feels strange, because it sounds solid, reliable, permanent. That's how it felt from the inside too. We had routines instead of excitement, predictability instead of passion, but I thought that was normal. Long relationships aren't supposed to feel dramatic. They're supposed to feel safe. We shared an apartment, a dog, bills, holidays, and future plans that were never fully defined but always implied. Friends treated us like a unit. Family stopped asking questions. Life moved forward quietly. So when he suggested a vacation, just the two of us, I saw it as a good sign. A reset, a reminder. I thought maybe he felt the same emotional distance I did and wanted to fix it. I didn't realize that sometimes people suggest trips not to reconnect, but to escape parts of their life they don't want to face anymore. At that point, I still trusted him completely. Part 2. A place that looked too perfect. The resort town was exactly what you'd expect from a travel ad. Bright buildings, clean streets, ocean air that made everything feel lighter than it should. Everywhere we went, there were couples laughing, holding hands, taking photos. It felt like a place where nothing bad was supposed to happen. At first, I leaned into it. I wanted the trip to work. I wanted us to feel close again. But almost immediately, something felt off. He was physically there, but mentally somewhere else. His attention drifted constantly. His phone never left his hand. It wasn't obvious enough to accuse him of anything. It was subtle, small delays in his responses. The way his posture shifted when he got notifications. The way conversations ended too quickly. At night, he turned away from me in bed. I told myself I was overthinking. That long relationships go through quiet phases. Still, that tight feeling in my chest never fully went away. Part 3. The life I didn't know about. I didn't know about her yet. I didn't know that while I was trying to reconnect with him, he was maintaining a separate emotional world that didn't include me. I learned later that it hadn't started as an affair. It never does. It started with conversations, with feeling understood, with sharing frustrations instead of addressing them honestly. She didn't know me. She only knew the version of him that felt neglected and tired. On this trip, he told her he was alone. He said the relationship was complicated. He said he needed time. While I was sleeping beside him, he was messaging someone else about missing them. He justified it easily. He always had a reason. People like that usually do. At the time, I still believed we were on the same page. I thought we were temporarily disconnected, not actively being replaced. Part 4. The moment everything changed. I wasn't looking for proof. I didn't go through his phone or try to catch him. The truth came to me quietly, without effort. His phone lit up while he was in the bathroom. That was it. A name I didn't recognize. A message preview that carried intimacy without explanation. It wasn't explicit. It didn't need to be. Some messages are loud without using graphic words. My body reacted before my mind did. My hands went cold. My chest tightened. I felt strangely calm, like something I'd been subconsciously preparing for had finally arrived. That night, I lay next to him staring at the ceiling, listening to the ocean outside. I didn't cry. I didn't confront him. I realized that once you truly know something, there's no going back. I decided to wait, not because I was scared, but because I wanted clarity. Part 5. Performing normal became exhausting. The days that followed felt unreal, like I was watching my own life through glass. I smiled when I was supposed to, laughed at the right moments, and posed for photos that looked happy enough to fool anyone scrolling past them. On the outside, nothing had changed. On the inside, everything had shifted permanently. I began noticing details I had ignored for years. The way he avoided eye contact when lying, how his shoulders tensed when his phone vibrated, how quickly he shut down conversations that felt too real. The vacation continued without acknowledging my quiet collapse. Sunsets still arrived on time. Music still drifted from the pool. Strangers laughed, relaxed, lived their lives completely unaware that mine was unraveling in silence. I moved through each day feeling hollow, like I no longer fully existed inside my own relationship. Pretending to be normal took more energy than I thought possible, and by the end of each. Part 6. Seeing the lie with my own eyes. On the last night, he said he needed some air. The words sounded casual, rehearsed. I waited a few minutes before following him. I wasn't rushing or panicking. I already knew what I was going to see. They were standing close together under the resort lights. Not hiding, not kissing, just comfortable in a way that made everything clear. His body language was open, relaxed, familiar. That was the moment it stopped being a suspicion and became reality. I didn't feel shock. I felt confirmation, the kind that settles deep and leaves no room for denial. Seeing the way he looked at her hurt more than any message ever could. That look used to be mine. Watching it belong to someone else changed something in me permanently. Part 7. When the truth finally had a shape. The confrontation didn't feel dramatic, even though it should have. There was no yelling, no chaos, no moment that matched what movies promise betrayal will look like. Instead, there was a quiet heaviness, like the air itself had thickened. He tried to explain. He tried to reduce what had happened into something smaller, something accidental, something forgivable. None of it landed. I realized I wasn't angry in the way I expected to be. I felt distant, like I had already stepped outside the relationship emotionally and was simply watching it end. The truth didn't arrive all at once, it settled slowly, confirming what I had already known for days. This wasn't a single mistake. It was a series of choices made quietly and repeatedly. In that moment, I understood that the relationship had ended long before this trip. What hurt most wasn't the betrayal itself, but the realization of how long I had been present while he was already gone. Part 8. Leaving with clarity instead of closure. Going home felt heavier than arriving. The apartment looked the same, but it no longer felt familiar. Every shared object carried a memory that now felt cousin, disconnected from the present. He wanted to talk, to explain, to repair what had already collapsed. He said it didn't mean anything, as if that would somehow soften the damage. Instead, it clarified everything. I realized I didn't need closure. I already had it. Closure didn't come from long conversations or final explanations. It came from seeing the truth clearly and accepting it without denial. Some endings aren't loud or explosive. Some arrive quietly, in places far from home, and follow you back. I didn't leave feeling victorious or relieved. I left feeling aware, and that awareness stayed with me, reshaping how I understood love, trust, and myself. The relationship didn't end with chaos. It ended with clarity, and that made all the difference.